Terrence here with Root Healthy Plants. I'm coming out here to harvest some of these zinnia heads because I want to collect the seeds, because these zinnias have been going all season long. They are one of my best pollinators, and I want to continue having such a prolific flower bed in the front of my house, and I want to do that on a budget. So pardon the cars, because like I said, I'm in the front of my house, so there's cars driving by, but I want to cut off a lot of these heads. What I'm also doing is help keep this area beautiful by not having so much dead and brown looking stuff here also. So I'm going to cut off these flower heads that are dying, and I'm going to process some of these seeds. These zinnias are also good because they don't just come out and just give one flower. They'll come out, flower, and they have long blooming cycles, but they also produce numerous heads. So you'll start to get numerous shoots. When those die, when old ones die, the new shoots will start to come out and start to keep continuing to keep that area beautiful. I think it's just best to just cut some of these brown ones off, but do not forget to collect those seeds. I have different varieties, different colors of zinnias. I'm going to put them all together, but I'm going to try, if I can, to separate the giant zinnias. You can kind of see the difference. You can see the difference in size, but these are the giant zinnias right here. And they were all this color. The giant ones I had were all this color right here, this purplish pinkish color. I'm getting numerous flower heads off of each plant. Save yourself some money, beautify your garden by cutting off a lot of that dead. And you can continue to put your zinnias in other places in your yard. So if you only had a couple in a certain area, you don't have to go out and buy new seeds next year, because these are annuals. I'm going to have to come out and reseed these each year. If anybody in the comments knows this white kind of looks like a fungus or something that may be growing on the zinnia leaves, if anybody's familiar with what that is, please let me know in the comments. I'm interested to find out what that is, because I'm starting to see some of that fungus stuff on the zinnias, but also on my squash leaves. Now, squash are still doing fine. My butternut squash, they're still producing, but some of those leaves are starting to get that fungus, and it looks like it's killing some of the leaves off. But not in this video, but in another video, I'll go through, and I don't know if you can see them more in the back where there's a bunch of brown together. That's all the Mexican sunflower. So I don't want to mix that up, even though I don't mind planting it together, but I would like to keep them separated just so I know what's what. I want to intentionally plant Mexican sunflower where I want them. And I like how they grow too, because they grow numerous heads also. They just don't bloom as long. Like, they're pretty blooms, nice orange sunflowers, but they just don't last long. But the benefit of them is pollination. You know, they attract the pollinators, but they also produce the numerous heads. So I'm not too mad with such a short bloom cycle. After I'm done cutting these off, I'm not gonna cut them all off right now. I want to get to showing you how many seeds we're getting inside and what they look like. Probably more towards the end of the season, when it starts getting a little bit colder. I'm just going to cut them all off at one time. And if you have any other tips about zinnias, anybody wants to share, please feel free. Get the conversation going. These were good pollinators this year. They attracted a lot of butterflies, a lot of bees, so many moths. They attracted a lot of moths. I got mixed feelings about moths, because those moths come and lay eggs on your veggies, and then you have little caterpillars popping up and eating holes and everything. I don't know how much of a role moths play in pollination. It's making this area look a little bit better. Not so dead and gloomy. I probably should cut them off a lot lower, so you don't see the brown sticks sticking up. These bugs out here are tearing me up right now. Vicious. That might be cool for now. Don't need 1,000 at this moment. It's not my last time I'm going to be out here. I'm interested in seeing what everybody thinks was my greatest pollinator this season. I'm going to do a poll, and I'm going to see how many people get it right. I'm going to put multiple choice, and I want to see how many people get right what pollinator flowers or what pollinator plant attracted the most pollinators and insects by far. What plant or flower that I grew this year attracted the most pollinators by far. It's not even blooming anymore, but it's still covered in insects. That's your hint. I know A lot of people don't know what flowers exactly I grew this year besides the obvious ones. The zinnias, the Mexican sunflowers, the mammoth sunflowers. I grew some black Susans, a bunch of other flowers that my wife put out, some lamb's ear, some roses, rose of Sharon, some milkweed, swamp milkweed. Which ones attracted the most pollinators? I got almost a whole bowl full right here. I'm getting ready to turn the camera around so that you can see when I take the seeds out and what it looks like. Because when it's all brown, and the seeds are brown, so you gotta kind of have a fine eye on what you're doing and combing through so you don't miss the seeds. And y'all let me know if y'all think this is even worth it. Some people may feel like, I'll just go buy a pack of Zinnia seeds or just order some Zinnia seeds, and I'm not gonna go out there cutting the flower heads off, harvesting seeds, doing all that work. Some people aren't not into doing the work. For me, this is therapeutic. For me, this is me knowing that I know how to be efficient, because I don't just harvest flower seeds. I harvest the seeds from my vegetables too. From lettuce to spinach to kale, you name it, everything. I harvest seeds from everything. This is how you can grow for free. Low maintenance, low cost. That's how I grow. Not in the beginning, because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm thinking, I'm trying to buy everything I need, trying to be overly prepared. And the more I learn, the more I realize I don't need to buy all this stuff. Some people just like having a bunch of stuff, gadgets, and you don't need all that. Get back to the basics. Make this super simple. Stuff you don't use, give back to your garden. Save seeds. Why throw them out? So you see the whole bowl of zinnias right here. Now there's still bugs in there. Try to kick those bugs out. Before I start filling this bag up, these are what the zinnia seeds look like. They're brown and they're very thin. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna break this apart. We're gonna put the rest of this stuff right here in the compost. Search for them. So I know I see one right there. I don't think I got much off of that. That's two. That's another one. Bugs are tearing me up. I'm not gonna be out here long. But I'm gonna put this stuff right back in this bowl towards the bottom, let that stuff kind of shake down towards the bottom, and then we move on to the next one. Okay, this one has more seeds in it. Separate those. And they kind of have like a little thing attached to them. I'll show you a couple. I'll put a couple next to each other so you can kind of see how it kind of has like a little tail on it before it pops off, so you can kind of help identify what the seeds look like. 5 or 6 of them next to each other, show you the tails on them. And that's how you help identify the seeds from the spent flowers. There's a ton of seeds in this one. It's like little tadpoles. I need to be out here with my face netting on. For the video purposes, I don't have it on at the moment, but if y'all don't mind, I don't mind. These bugs are vicious. They're eating me alive out here. And that's what an all organic, no pesticide land will have, a bunch of bugs. But everything serves a purpose. I'm not gonna bore you with doing multiple flower heads. I'm gonna go in the house and do that off camera. Unless y'all wanna sit through a boring, tedious video with me monologuing about whatever. Maybe I should do that on the live. We could just have a conversation. There's a ton of seeds here. As you can see, I don't know if I wanna bother myself with sitting here counting them all. You just saw it on camera. How many I'm getting just from this one flower head. So I can almost grow this whole section right here, what I grew this year, with just this one flower head, by how many seeds are coming out of here, because all the flowers y'all see, a lot of them are coming from single plants. So there's multiple heads coming from single plants. So you can essentially build an amazing, gorgeous, beautiful garden with just a couple flower heads and the seeds from it. And anybody that maybe want a side hustle, people pay for these. Zinnias, bunches of flowers. Went to Rutgers University, roadside stand where they're selling farm stuff. All types of food, all types of vegetables, all types of everything they had there. Mushrooms, you name it. One thing that they sold that I was interested in were the zinnias. And that got me to thinking, I'm like, should I be selling my zinnias? I mean, I like how they look in the front. I'm not the main or visual person where I'm all about vanity, but they do look nice. I don't mind the front of my house looking nice. My wife, she tends to be more interested in the flowers and the visual side of things. I'm more interested in food production. Not that I don't want the flowers there, because I know They attract the pollinators, and there's nothing wrong with having a nice property, but my property has to do something too. I'm all for grow food, not grass. Grass is boring. If you like to look at grass, more power to you. I don't like looking at grass. It doesn't serve me a purpose. It's cost me money, time to maintain it. There's so many seeds off of this one flower head. I'm still pulling seeds from this thing. These are super low maintenance. All I did was plant them in the ground, never touched them, never gave any other thought to needing to water it or anything. I never watered these zinnias. That's something to think about, folks. I got zinnias in my front yard. I got ones in the backyard that I forgot that I put out there. They're blooming and going strong. In my pollinator section, making sure my squash are continuing to produce back there. I'm gonna give y'all a close-up. Look at all those seeds on that plate. Harvest your own seeds. Harvest your own zinnia seed. Look at all those seeds off of one flower head. That's crazy. I just harvested over 100 zinnia seeds out of one flower head. This is a no-brainer that you need to be planting zinnias. They're great pollinators. They lasted the whole season and are still blooming so beautiful and vibrant. And you could make an amazing business out of these. If you can get 100-fold out of one flower head, come on now. It's a no-brainer. If you got some inspiration or knowledge out of this video, please like the video. Please share it with anybody that you think might like it, friends, family, and comment. Let's start the conversation. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on the next one. Keep it growing.